Hi there, Zinesters. Welcome back to my channel and happy Valentine's Day, or happy almost Valentine's Day. On today's episode, I'll show you 3 different methods for using zines to make Valentines for people. 2 of the zines I've included as I prepare for a Valentine's themed zine workshop. And then one is a little accordion zine that I made for my niblings. I hope that you are inspired to share love and, gratitude for the wonderful people in your life through the art of making zines. And if you're new here, welcome. I am so glad you're here. My name is Dayna. I love zines, which are DIY publications typically made on a copy machine that feature art, ramblings, words. They can literally be about anything. I've been making zines and creating community around zines for many years, and on my channel I share a glimpse into that with you, including a glimpse into my artistic and creation process. And yeah, so let's roll that intro music and get started on making some zines. All right, first up, I am going to be putting together some valentines for my niblings. I have 6 niblings. They're all between the ages of just a few months old and 9. And every year I like to treat them to some sort of cute little valentine. So last year I made them these stickers. They say I would still love you if you were a worm. And this year I thought I would make them little gachapon gift eggs. I went to Bubble Wrap, which is a local store here where they sell gachapons, and picked out 6. And then I figured I would fill them not only with the little toys, but with some candy as well as an accordion zine. I drew a little parade of whimsical animals, including my cats Snoopy and Ruby, going on parade to tell them that they are loved, and we're going to fold it into an accordion mini zine that will fit inside the gacha. And then we'll stuff these gachas full of toys and treats, and I'll send them on their way to all my niblings, because I hope that they have a wonderful Valentine's Day and know that I love them so much. So yeah, let's get started. I drew this whimsical parade in my sketchbook, and then I took it into Procreate on my iPad. I cleaned it up, I did the line work, I did the lettering, and then I printed it off on pink paper. Very appropriate for Valentine's Day. So first I'm just gonna slice these up. First, I'm just gonna slice these into the individual parades. I feel like this is a great idea, not only for children, but for really anyone in your life. If who doesn't love getting a zine as well as some candy and cute little figurines? Come on. I feel like if someone gave me that, I would really appreciate it. I would feel loved. So if you're looking for just a fast, easy, and kind of very sweet way to tell someone you love them on Valentine's Day, I recommend doing this. You don't need to do a parade of animals for your accordion zine. You could, just make a little mini zine where you talk about favorite memories with the person. You could talk about ways that you feel loved by them, like a gratitude zine. Really, the world is your oyster. You just write a love letter and fold it up into an accordion. I went ahead and made one as a template so that way I knew where I would need to fold each zine, since it can be tricky with accordion zines to fold them in a way where they are even. I wanted the first frame when they open it to say you. It's like, you are what? You are loved, and then it kind of explodes into the joyful parade of these animals. Then I left the last part blank because I'm going to write them each a little note. So let me fold all these up, and then we'll move on to filling up the gachapons. I'm going to just mark each of these where they need to be folded with a pencil before I fold, so again I can make sure I'm folding them correctly. While I was at Bubble Wrap, I might have also treated myself to a Sunny Angel Hipper. I am not a Sunny Angel collector by any means. This is only my second Sunny Angel, but I do love a cute little guy, so I was glad to add it to my collection of cute little guys. Alright, now that they are all marked, we're just going to fold them up. I have a bone folder here, which is just a piece of plastic that helps you make a nice sharp edge. The great thing about accordion zines is once you make your first fold, the rest are very easy because you're just folding it underneath. Be the same size. Yay, great. I'm gonna go and erase those marks. When I'm making zines, when you first make your folds, they have a tendency to not want to lay flat. So I have this weight here that has a great long arm stapler podcast sticker on it, and I just put my zines underneath it so they can flatten out a bit. right, last one. This accordion fold zine I'm making for these gifts, it's really simple. I mean, I'm literally just folding a piece of paper back and forth. However, there are more complicated accordion fold zines that can be made. You can make one that is similar to a mini zine in that it's made with a single sheet of paper that is cut and folded. So when you unfold the whole thing, you have like 1 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. There are also ones that are glued together. So really, if you're going to make an accordion zine, there's, you can make it as long or as short as you like, since if you want more than 5 pages, for instance, well, you would just make more accordions and then glue them together. It's one of those zine formats where the sky's really the limits. I mean, most zine formats, the sky really is the limits with what you can do with it and how creative you can be. All right, there we go. 6 perfect little mini zines. All right, now that I've added little notes to each one, I'm going to stuff the gachapons with some candy. I got some Rainbow Brownie Hershey Kisses, as well as Snoopy gummies. Hopefully we'll be able to fit some of the Snoopy gummies into the gachapons. Might be a bit of a struggle, but we'll make it work. All right, so first up is little Evie, and she is like a baby, so she's actually just gonna get one very, a toy that is big enough that it will not be a choking hazard, and no candy. Yay! And Snoopy gummies might have been too ambitious. They don't really want to try. Yeah, so we're gonna put the Snoopy gummies just in the box, along with some more Hershey Kisses. As a finishing touch, I am going to write each kiddo's names on some of the paper that was left over from cutting the zines down, and then I am going to wrap it around each gachapon, just, you know, so kind of like a name tag, so each kiddo knows which gachapon is theirs. All right, so that is the completed Valentine. It includes candy, toys, and a mini zine. What more could anyone want for Valentine's Day? One of the ways that I am celebrating Valentine's Day this year is by hosting a zine workshop with some friends of mine. We're hosting a Valentines workshop as part of both Casey's Zine Con, which is our local zine fest, and Zine Club programming. Zine Club is the monthly zine show and tell and co-working event that I host as part of the Neither Nor Zine Library at Goofball Skateboards. And Casey's Zine Con, as I said, is our annual zine fest, and I volunteer to help put that show on every year. It's a lot of fun, and I've met some really amazing friends through volunteering at zine events and hosting zine events in my community. And so this year, this February, we are hosting Valentines at Goofball Skateboards, which is a drop-in zine workshop where you make a Valentine's zine, whether that is a zine that is itself a Valentine that you give to someone, or a Valentine's themed zine. The sky's the limit. But to prepare for that, I wanted to make some materials people can use to collage with, as well as make a few example zines. So this is like a little file folder that I keep greeting cards in, because I'm a bit of a stationery collector. And in it, I have some vintage Valentines. This is just like a book of flocked Valentines that you can cut out and then send. But I thought it would be fun to make scans of some of these that people can use as part of their zines. All right, so here is what I gathered to bring as supplies for the workshop. So here are the photocopies of the Valentines. I think that these will be great for people to cut up and use in their collages. I'm also bringing some doilies. And finally, I printed off some famous love letters. So these are from Frida Kahlo to Diego Rivera, from Vida Sackville West to Virginia Woolf, from Oscar Wilde to Lord Alfred Douglas, and then finally a letter from Allen Ginsberg to Peter Orlovsky. I think it could be a really fun, not only a zine prompt, but even like a prompt for a junk journal, a prompt for your writing journal, to take old love letters and to make cut up poetry with them. So to take someone else's like words of love and adoration, to cut up their letter and make a new love letter from those words. I've actually done this myself. It was part of a zine club I hosted way back in 2019, or gosh, it might have even been 2018. I cut up this letter by Vida Sackville West to Virginia Woolf and created my own mini zine. Since our workshop will just be a sort of like drop-in, casual zine gathering, I'm going to bring copies of this zine, as well as a zine I'll be making here on video as examples to give people a bit of an idea of what they could make. I think sometimes one of the hardest parts of starting a zine is just that, is getting started, is having that creative spark that gets you going. So having a couple of example zines out to help kind of, grease the axle of creativity, if you will, I think will be a nice thing to offer, since we won't be doing like one single guided zine making activity collectively. So, and speaking of having examples, like I just mentioned, I also want to make another zine. I want to make a heart-shaped zine that is a Valentine as another example. And I was thinking I would make it for Goofball Skateboards, the location of our workshop. They are just the sort of community space like we need right now in this moment. I recently started to learn how to skateboard, and I can guarantee you I would not have done it if it wasn't for a place like Goofball existing. They are also like the home of the zine community in Kansas City. They've given the zine library a permanent home. The monthly zine club I host, we meet there each month, and Casey Zine Con has been hosted there the past 2 years. So they are just like the most tremendous, incredible space. They are creating community. They're creating the community that we need right now. It's a pay what you can space. It's free if you don't have the funds to pay. Like, it's such a beautiful and welcoming community. So I want to make a zine for them. All right, so what I want to make is a zine that is heart-shaped. It's gonna be just a simple cut and folded zine, but it'll be in the shape of a heart, which I think will make it very special. So I have this garland. It's just like a X's and heart-shaped O's garland that I hang up for Valentine's Day, but I'm gonna use it as a guide to create my heart-shaped pages. So I'm gonna start by tracing this. And I still plan on hanging this up for next week. So I'm gonna leave it attached to the string and just trace around that. So we need one heart to start. And then I'm going to just flip this over and match up the sides. There we go. Perfect. I think I'll be able to fit 2 pages on each. All right, so I've printed off some little skateboards. I'm going to use some of the Valentines that I copied, and then I wrote some words that are going to make up the text of the zine about why Goofball is so important to me. So let's get collaging. Let's see what we make. I thought it'd be really cute to like make these little guys skateboard, make them hold some zines. So I'm gonna start by cutting them out. I feel like Valentine's Day is, I mean, not to be cheesy, but like it's kind of more important now than ever. Not like chocolates and, you know, silly like plush bears with heart tummies, but like just love in general. It's like love in the time of global warming, love in the time of ascendant fascism. Like the more the people in charge try to sow chaos and sow hate, the more important it is that we, like, you know, show our loved ones and our friends how much we care for them. The more important it is that we like build loving communities, build inclusive communities, build communities where everyone can be their best self. It's an act of love to bring joy into this world. It's an act of love to bring creativity into this world. And it's an act of love to like fight back against the people and the systems that are just trying to like, you know, make life so much worse for the majority of us so they can profit. I feel like the people in charge, I'm specifically speaking here about the people in charge of the place where I live, which, as you can probably tell from my accent, is the United States. I feel like they are trying to sow hatred to create like this fake culture war in order to distract us from the fact that their policies and the way they are running this country is literally causing the planet to burn, and it's causing a whole bunch of us to get poorer and poorer, while a very small percentage of them get richer and richer. It's not good. It's not good. But I mean, there are many ways to fight back and resist. But one way is by building, you know, the world we want to see. Building, you know, places that are community centers and being there for each other. You know, they can try and turn us all against each other, but we can say, no, that's bullshit. And instead, we can create communities with, you know, I'm gonna say create communities with our community, but create communities with the people around us and resist, you know, the hatred that they are so eager to cultivate. And instead, we can love instead, can't speak, we can love one another, and we can, you know, lift each other up and care for each other. And I think that Goofball is doing, you know, they are putting that into practice. Not only is Goofball a skate park, but, you know, and it is also home for the zine community in Kansas City. but they also collect supplies and resources for Casey transformations, hosting the Trans Day of Remembrance. They put on local shows. So live music has a place, in Kansas City that is sober, that, where disabled people can participate because everyone is masked. Like, they are really showing up for their community. And that's one of the reasons why I love them and why we're making them a Valentine today. All right, so I got these cuties on skateboards. And then I think these cuties are gonna be holding zines. So we'll have to figure out how we're gonna actually make them like fit into these hearts. Okay, we'll get there though. Anyways, I feel like I'm like waxing poetic about, love and hate and all these, big kind of concepts. But it's Valentine's Day, so I'm thinking about love a lot, and I'm thinking about, it's impossible not to tune into the news and see that the state of the world is not great right now. It's tough times for everyone. So my apologies for kind of rambling there, but gosh, it's been on my mind, y'all. But that being said, I'm glad that I get to spend time with my Casey zine community and that we have a strong, really, active local zine community. I feel really lucky that we have the zine community we do in Kansas City. It's really strong, it's really active. We host a lot of events. We, casually hang out often, and I feel both really lucky that we have that, and then I also know that it exists because we make it exist. Those of us who volunteer to help run the fest and to, catalog zines at the zine library, we do it not only because we love zines, but we love the community that's around it. So if you don't have a zine club, if you don't have a zine fest in your community, try and start one. I've made some amazing friends by doing the work to help create zine community here in Kansas City. If something doesn't exist where you live, and it's not oh, I wish we had, a restaurant, or I wish we had a library, but if it's something like a meetup or an event that you could potentially make happen, then yeah, make it happen. You don't need a ton of money or resources to make a zine club happen. You can see if your local library would be able to host the event, because all you need is a table and some chairs and people who like zines. What we do at our zine club is we all bring zines that we love and we share them with each other. We say why this zine is our favorite, why the zine, usually has a theme. So last month we did kind of New Year's zines, and we all brought the zines that we created to share what had happened to us in 2024. In the past, we've done bugs, we've done soup, we've done grief, we've done all sorts of themes, and people bring zines from their collections that fit that theme. And sometimes people don't bring any zines. That's okay. They're just there to kind of learn more about zines, to see what, zines are all about. And then after show and tell, we just hang out and we work on our own zines. And again, sometimes people are brand new to zine making, and it's such a great way for them to kind of learn about what zines are by showing up, hanging out, getting to know people, and getting creative. That's what it's all about. Alrighty. Again, rambling on, but it's okay. So that guy gave him a little zine, and I think I'll try and put a little zine in this one's hand too. Okay. Yeah, okay. So to make them it look like they're holding stuff, I'm just kind of using this X-Acto knife to cut around their little paws. There we go. And then like pushing their paws forward so then they can hold the little zine. It's really cute. Okay. So now we've got our little guys. They've got their skateboards, they've got their zines. And I think now I'm gonna start trying to put it together. So we need to talk about pagination. If you have never made a zine before, or you've only made folded mini zines similar to this one, where it's all on one sheet of paper, pagination might seem kind of intimidating. Like, how, when you are making a folded zine, do you make the pages line up correctly? So if we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages, we need to work out like which pages go where. Because if I were to put 1 here and 2 here, when I folded it up, that page 2 would end up being like the last page in the zine. It wouldn't end up in the right spot. So what I do to figure out my zine pagination, and I'm just gonna write it out here in this blank space since this will get cut away anyways, is I take the number of pages, so in this case 8, and I start writing them in a column down the piece of paper that I am drafting this out. So I have 4 pages. Once I get to the halfway point, so in this case that's 4 because we're doing 8, I start writing the numbers across. There we go. Now I know page 1 needs to be across from page 8. And then, since we're gonna be folding this in half, whoops, and see, I already messed up. This is why I actually made a whole video about pagination, and I even in it say, like, with zines, pagination is like, and collating and trying to figure out page numbers, it's kind of hard to wrap your brain around because you have to kind of envision 2-dimensional space in a 3-dimensional way. If we were to have laid it out like that, page 1 needs to be on the right hand side, because if we have a folded sheet of paper, it would be on the right hand side. So this will actually be page 1. And here, when we open it up, that would be page 2. Then this would be page 7. And then last but not least is page 8. So 1, 2, 7, 8. This side, we're gonna have 3, 4, and 5. The last 2 numbers in our up-down column system, those are always your centerfolds, so 4 and 5, and then 6. I kind of breezed through that, and even still like messed up and had to restart. But if you want a full breakdown of what I'm talking about, how to make this happen, I made an entire video about it, and I hopefully explained it a lot better than I just did. But I would recommend checking that out. It's still something, like every single time I have to write out my page numbers and kind of visualize it. Otherwise I just get confused, and sometimes I still mess up. That's just making zines for you. It's experimental. Okay, have to have my LaCroix. Gotta stay hydrated while you're making some zines. So all this talk of Valentine's Day, I actually kind of find it a little bit funny. So I am in a relationship and have been with my guy Tom for like over, gosh, we met in 2011. We started dating in 2011. We got married in 2014. So like we've been together for a really, really long time. But we really don't do anything for Valentine's Day, like at all. To me, Valentine's Day is often Less important than February 15th, which I call half price candy day, because that's when you can go to the drugstore and buy all the Valentine's Day candy at a deep discount. And usually, hopefully, that means you can buy Reese Hearts at a deep discount, because those are my absolute favorite. But Valentine's Day wise, Tom and I we don't really celebrate it. Ironically, we live in a city that I feel like invented Valentine's Day. We live in Kansas City, which is home to both Hallmark cards as well as Russell Stover candy. So we are kind of like living in what should be Valentine's Day's capital. But as far as the holiday goes, it's really neither of our like top holidays. We show each other we love each other like every day in a multitude of different ways. We don't need a holiday to like gatekeep the love. But this year I'm kind of seeing Valentine's Day through a different lens. I'm thinking of ways I can show other folks in my life, just appreciation for them. While I get to tell Tom every single day that I love him, there's lots of, friends in my life, communities in my life that I don't get to tell them that every single day. And I don't get to show them how much I appreciate them every single day. So maybe that's what Valentine's Day could be for. It's just showing appreciation for all the amazing people in your life, whether they are someone you're romantically involved with or not. I think friendship is really important, and I think community is really important. And I think those, friendship and community are types of love. So I'm glad that I get to celebrate the holiday this year in the way that I am, in a way that underscores community. I think every single of these little rambles I've been on so far, they are all just kind of trying to say the same thing, which is that, love's important right now because times are tough, and if we love and care for each other, we're gonna make it through. At least I hope we will. Alrighty. If I could invent like one zine tool, I would invent something that makes cutting out letters and long strings of text easier. Okay, we've got all of our letters cut out. We have lots of scraps to add to the scrap paper pile. I have a plan one day to make homemade paper out of all my zine scraps. So all of these wonderful scraps will live in that scrap bag until the day comes where I finally make my homemade paper. I've done it before. I learned how to make paper in school when I was in college, so it's less about figuring out the process and more about just like getting the tools to do it and finding the time and space. But I digress. Let's move on to making our zine. So, I want the first page to just say, I love you, goofball skateboards. So we can go ahead and piece that down. Those sticky fingers. I feel like Sticky Fingers would be a really good name for a zine distro. Just one of the zine things I actually have not tried. I've helped run a zine fest. I've helped, volunteer at a zine library. I write my own zines. I do zine reviews. I do zine videos, but I've taught workshops. I have never actually run a distro. Do I see that in my future? Maybe. Collectively, the zine library, we might helping out running the Neither Nor Zine distro, but beyond doing something collectively, I don't think I would do it on my own. As much as I love zine distros, gosh, they seem like a lot of work, and I don't have time for that, but I wish I did, because getting to just be like a zine shopkeeper sounds kind of dreamy. Like if I had $1 million or even just like enough money to start a business and open a storefront, I'd probably open like a little like, you know, zine store / like soup cafe community joint. I don't know. Wow, I took that from being a heart-shaped heart to being so lopsided. All right, let's try and fix it. That's a kind of little bit better. Oh well, it's the thought that counts. There we go. Okay. There we go. And his little skateboard. And then page 3 here is where I'll start putting my text. I think I'll put some hearts down as like a backdrop and to cover up this 3. These are some really old stickers. I think I have had them, no joke, since high school, which is like freaking lifetime ago. So they are kind of weird how they stick. Let's see. There we go. That's nice. Okay. I have like a little pair of tweezers that are just for doing zine stuff. You know, they're not for like plucking eyebrow hairs. And I think that's gonna help us fix my typo and fix the transposed E and A, the swapped E and A, putting them back in the correct spelling. Okay, so get the E. You got the A. I kind of like it. It gives it, you know, it really amplifies how cut and paste that this zine is by having that fuck up in there, to be blunt. There we go. I'm kind of rewriting my writing as we go, because this was part of the last sentence I wrote, but I think I like it as like the first thing. 3, and 4 and 5. I think I'm gonna try and put one of the zine guys in here. I think I'm gonna make the zine he's holding say Zines. I also think I don't need this like Valentine's fence. I like the fence, but I don't want the word Valentine there. So it'll buy us some space. Okay. I think too, I'm gonna, on this crease of this little like tiny piece of paper I'm using to represent a zine, I'm going to draw the crease line in so that way when this photocopies, it'll be like very clear that this is 2 folded sheets of paper. I mean, I say very clear, like, it'll still, you know, it's we'll see how it photocopies, but I think it'll be a little more apparent that what it's supposed to be is a zine. I'm also going to black out some of the background so that way it really pops. I'm nervous that when it photocopies, it won't register as something, you know, a zine being held. So I'm going to use this washi tape again to just kind of black out this area. And, you know, I'm just making the zine with some, like, images that, well, I had the cards. You could probably find images like this on Google, or Graphics Fairy, which is a really great free resource of, like, vintagey type images that you can use in craft projects for free. Stickers and text that I printed off, and, like, one almost finished roll of washi tape. Like, you really don't need that many supplies to make a cool zine. Yeah, look at that. That pops way better now. All right, so oops, that's what the tweezers are for. All right, now let's put our other skateboarder, who's like apparently also a post officer. There we go. I think I'm gonna cut out every, you know, Aureola's text, so they're just holding this like cute little postcard, and then we'll put text in the postcard. So I think that'll be cute. Yeah, and it fits like really well. So some of that will be cut off, but I think it's still pretty obvious that they're on a skateboard. Yeah. Okay. context clues. Okay. So this right here I have, this is just a brayer that is usually used when you are doing printmaking, but I use this brayer to flatten down things that I have pasted in when I am making collages. It works great for that. All right. Hard sticker on here. There we go. All right. Actually looks like I'm gonna not be able to use all of the text I've written. I'm gonna end up running out of space, but that's okay. I feel like I do that all the time. I always, when I'm making a cut and paste collage zine, I always have to cut something. Literally. Pun intended. Okay. Ugh. I'm sorry. Some glue mark on here, so we're just gonna use the pliers to get that off. Alrighty. Okay. All right. I was gonna say, talk about thank you for being a home to the zine community. Before Goofball existed, Casey ZineCon, we had to really hustle to find a space to host the fest. It wasn't fun. Searching for a venue that was, you know, in a accessible part of town, accessible by public transit, and accessible, you know, like wheelchair accessible and accessible to folks using mobility aids, while still being like affordable for a bunch of like volunteer, you know, like punks and weirdos, just literally trying to create a free event out of nothing. Like, we wanted to keep our table fees as low as possible, like, you know, $20 to $40 max, with most of it just being pay what you can. But at the same time, we were getting quotes for venues that were like thousands and thousands of dollars. And it was really difficult. It was really stressful. It felt like every year there were less and less options. And then here comes Goofball, like a freaking, you know, just literal wish come true. And they've been like our home ever since. And I literally cannot thank Joan and Harper, who, you know, own and run Goofball, enough, because like without them, like the KC Zine community would not have been able to like grow and thrive as much as it has. There are zine events, whether they're related to like the, you know, to KC ZineCon and either nor or not, like all throughout the city. There are people making zines in Kansas City. We have such a like truly remarkably massive zine community for the size of our city. And I think a lot of that is thanks to Goofball for like giving Casey Zine Con a home for the past couple of years where we could like really develop programming. We could have Zine Club, you know, the zine libraries there. It really gets the word out of what zines are, which helps the community grow. It makes the community happen. Like Goofball is such an integral and wonderful place, which I'm gonna plug them right now. If you want to like throw some money their way, please do. They are donation based. So like even if you're not in Kansas City, like and you've got some money that you could put towards a great cause, give Goofball your dough. They more than deserve it. Alrighty, last 2 pages. Alright, I do want to talk about skateboarding because, as I say here, I don't think I would have ever been brave enough to try skateboarding if it wasn't for Goofball. So, we're out of little cuties. I still have the top of this heart, so we're going to incorporate that. And we're going to incorporate a whole lot of heart stickers. Okay. Okay. Too worried about that. We're just going to cover it up with text, and anything that doesn't get covered up, I'll cover up with washi tape. I think I'm also going to finish the bottom of the heart with washi tape. I hate when this happens. The tape like doesn't rip cleanly. On one hand though, it does give us a really cool edge that we can like incorporate. Oof. Got sticky fingers, everything's sticking to everything. I think. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and toss up part of that. Covering up that there. I'm gonna just cut away some of this excess. Alright, last page. I just want this one to be like, you know, short, sweet, simple. It's, you know, thanks Goofball and happy Valentine's Day. Okay. I put that way close to the center of that too. I kind of want it to be like a little off center. Okay. So I'm gonna make a copy of this, and then we'll cut it out. And I also need to make the cover, which I think I'm going to hand stamp the cover. So let's grab some red cardstock, because I feel like, nothing says Valentine's Day like a nice red heart Valentine. Let's grab that. Let's grab some stamps, and let's photocopy this, and then we'll work on making the cover and assembling this zine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trace this with pencil so I can erase it. And then I'm just gonna cut around it, like farther away from the tracing. Okay. Just gonna cut the excess to start, and then I'm just leaving like literally just the smallest bit of space, just enough that the cover of this zine is slightly bigger than the interior. If I want it to be extra, which I don't think I do because I think I'm kind of running short on time, I could put like a doily inside here, so that way the cute like doily edge, kind of is a border or a trim. That could be very cute. I hope someone does that tonight with one of their Valentines, because that would be very adorable. Heck, maybe the Valentine zine I make at the workshop, maybe I'll do that to it. Okay. There we go. And because I cut this like freehand, when I fold this, it's not gonna like line up perfectly, but that's okay. It's like mostly perfect, and that's what matters. Okay, so now I'm gonna erase all of this, make it nice and clean. I'm actually going to, before I do the stamping, I'm gonna cut out my insides and get them stapled in. That way we can see, is this the best front cover? Like what works best with the interior pages. Okay. So what I'm gonna do to make sure that these parts really line up perfectly is I'm actually gonna cut out these the two sheets we have, and I'm going to stack them and cut them all together all at once. So that way, hopefully, everything will sort of line up really nicely. Yay, it looks good. All right, so now we'll see how it fits into our cover. Find the best place for it. I think it's going to be that. Ooh, maybe not. Yeah, that's a little better. And then we'll staple it in. I'm a little surprised because we cut so much extra. We gave so much extra to the heart, but it's just not big enough. Oh well. Like I said before, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just, it's from the heart. It's something that it's made with love and it's handmade. And it doesn't mean it's gonna be perfect. Even though the, even though I really want it to be perfect, I want to make it look exactly like I see in my head. Sometimes that doesn't work out, and like that's okay. I am thinking I'm gonna add the doily though, because I think that would be super cute. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Okay, to make the doily happen, I'm just gonna put a lot of glue on this side. We're gonna glue it in, and then I'm gonna kind of cut around the excess edges. Right here to make it. Glue this part back in, like that. Just cut off that last little bit. Okay. That's really cute. All right. I do want to add one more staple because it's kind of feeling a little flimsy, a little barely held together. So we're gonna add one more staple right here. All right, and now I'm gonna hand stamp the cover. With zine tools, like stamps for instance, I feel like my stamps, my stickers, like the cards and ephemera I use, I have been building these collections for years now. Like these stamps I got, again, when I was in high school. I'm 35 years old, so I've had these for a really long time. With all these things, like I don't feel like you have to like rush out and like I have to buy all the things to be a zinester. All you need is a piece of paper and a pen, and you know, access to like a library where you can make copies, or you know, a copy shop code, you know, some way to copy and distribute your work. Like you don't need all the tools, all the, you know, extras. This is just like icing on the cake. And when you do acquire stuff like this, you can have it for, you know, for years and years and years. It's not, you know, it's not like your stamps are going to stop working. You know, obviously things gather wear and tear. Occasionally stuff breaks, but the cool thing about zines is because you can really make them with like whatever you have on hand. You know, even if something breaks, you can keep making zines. That's okay. Valentines, I need this. Valentines. And I've got a heart stamp somewhere in here. There it is. Add some of these little heart stickers just to like, well, no, I don't want to overcomplicate it. But I'm gonna add some of my heart stamps. I don't love how that turned out, but again, we're just coming from a place of we're not trying to overthink things. if I ever make, you know, more copies of this, am I gonna try and, you know, fix some of this? Yeah. But right now, this is what it is, and that's great. It's fine. It's kind of more, you know, kind of nicer when it's like this, when it's a little bit crusty, because it really shows how from the heart it is. It shows how handmade it is. It ain't perfect. It's definitely like the kind of messiest zine I've ever made, but I did this whole process on camera, and I think it shows you, like, the first time you're making something, sometimes, you know, it's not going to be perfect. It is going to be iterative. You're going to want to make adjustments, but that's just the zine making process. That's just how it goes. All right, Zinesters, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you take care, make lots of zines, and have a great Valentine's Day. Bye.